This is Bobby Horecka. When we started working on the March 6, 2009 edition of Texas Agriculture, we were getting reports that Central Texas was facing some of the worst drought conditions in the entire United States. Mike Barnett and I hopped into the truck and we headed to Hallettsville. For me, Hallettsville would be like going home normally. It is home, in fact. That's where our family has a small ranch there. But everything we were seeing coming in, it looked nothing like home that I could remember from my childhood.
We're in one of the worst droughts, probably the worst drought I've seen in my lifetime. In the last 18 months, I've had one-inch rain, and that was back last March. And I've had no rain more than an inch in 18 months. And our stock water's getting very bad. An example, I have 3 places around Yoakum. I have 7 tanks, and 6 of them are dry. That's tough.
As a writer covering a drought story, the last thing you want to have happen while you're trying to collect images and tell the story of drought is for the rains to come. When we left Hallettsville, it started to rain on us. And it wasn't, a downpour or anything like that by any means, but it probably was just enough to get everybody there plenty irritated. We'd spent the morning at the cattle sales, and they're hauling cattle off left and right because they have no water. And we're sitting there running windshield wipers and worrying about slick roads all the way to New Braunfels.
We've had just little 1/10, 2/10 rains, little showers or whatever, but it doesn't do any good. By the afternoon, it's all gone, and it doesn't even soak in. We planted our oats in October, and typically we'll start grazing our oats by Thanksgiving. And as you can see, I mean, it's yet to come up.
Basically, we have no subsoil moisture. For row crops, you're going to be dry planting. We planted wheat in November and December and haven't seen one bit of green leaf come out of the ground. Our grass is semi-fair, but there's a lot of places that are just non-existent grass. It's basically just dirt. We are in a full-blown dry period for at least the last 16 months.
So I got one pasture with water and no grass, another pasture with grass and no water. But other than that, things are okay.
As if drought isn't bad enough by itself, we noticed driving from New Braunfels to Marble Falls another really big issue facing the farmers of the hill country. Urbanization. Those sleepy little hill country towns that I remember from college are anything but these days.
Our community is changing. People are buying the land. If they're buying the land, when the old-time family sells out, they put it in wildlife exemption and don't run cattle. For what leases are worth, they don't want to mess with a rancher. I've got a couple very good friends of mine, a couple of brothers that have made their living entirely off of ranching for the last 50 years, had leased land, and as the lands have been sold, they've been unable to lease more, and so they've had to retreat back to their old homestead family property.
If you notice the oak trees as you were coming in, we're losing some live oak trees that probably are 150 years old that are dying from the drought. My brother and I, Bobby, we're the 5th generation to ranch here. Not many of us left in the hill country anymore.